Hey, hi, another post from Manhattan. I'm in my Soho loft. That's some old bricks from 1900s in a fifth floor walk-up. It's so funky here. I love it. I want to talk about the idea that a change anywhere can precipitate, or actually does precipitate, a change everywhere. And what I mean by that is I want to address the idea of the holographic universe, that in every single bit of reality exists the whole. And so that in a way, if you look at action at a distance or non-locality in a quantum physics term, what is actually probably happening isn't that two photons are communicating across 14 miles, but rather those two photons at some level are coexistent, and the change in one is always inevitably mirrored instantly in the change reflected in the other. Now, that sounds a little weird to start talking about quantum physics and stuff to start off a video blog, but the reason I'm bringing that up is this. You know, that be the change you want to see refrain really does matter. It's the changes you make in this unit, this one small fragment of reality that reflects the totality because it's holographic, is the most important change you can make. So rather than going out there and changing the world and trying to rearrange systems of reality externally, shifting your internal reality, basically you're deepening your perception of who you are, will ripple out and begin to reflect change in the world by changing the totality, by reflecting your inner movement toward awakening or clarity of revelation of who you are. That will impact the world because you are connected to all, including every other individual living and breathing now and before now and after now, because time's a bit squishy that way. So I'm going to say I'm bringing this up because what's my motive, right? To suddenly talk about that. I'm going to be doing a lot of internal shifting on this trip. It's already starting to happen. I can feel it. And I'm also noticing in a way that as this is happening, as this internal sort of inner mini a reawakening and revolution is occurring, that I know that that will have an impact on those people in my life and those people around me. It can't not have an impact on everybody, actually, but I will notice it in the close, intimate context in my life. And hopefully on my teenage daughter, right? Because that's the most challenging, intimate contact in my life. So I just want to talk about that idea. So, I mean, you know, tell me, do you perceive reality potentially as holographic? You know, if you were to snip yourself into a million gazillion little pieces, don't try that trick at home, your entirety would still be reflected in the smallest chip, you know, the tiniest fragment of who you are. I mean, it's that simple. Like if you had a holographic plate, like a technological holographic plate, and which means that if you shine light onto it, a laser light, it reflects a three-dimensional image. If you were to snip that piece, that little holographic plate into little tiny pieces, and then shine the light on the smallest fragment, you would still get the whole picture rising up, the whole three-dimensional picture. If you don't know what a hologram is, just in case, think of the Star Wars episode where Princess Leia is projected as a hologram or three-dimensional image from R2-D2. You know, so that's one way of just remembering what a hologram is. It's three-dimensional. It's a three-dimensional image that's projected from a two-dimensional surface using a laser technology. That's one way of saying all the reality is really like that. Okay, guys, thank you for listening. I'm bringing this on as an experiment. I'm on this trip. I'm feeling internal shifts. It's really, really weird to try to explain what's happening, but I want to talk about it in the holographic manner because that's really what it feels like matters. If I'm going to change internally and shift a bunch of perceptions and really kind of have a mini revolution, what matters isn't about me. It is me, but it's you, and it's every you that will ever exist and every me that will ever exist that's shifting with it. So a little confusing, I'm sure, but stay tuned for my next video blog. By the end of the day, I should have some more insight about reality or myself or something else about New York City. Mwah! Thanks for listening. Take care. Oh, by the way, you might get a little sign-up form down below that pops up as a call to action. If it does, sure, sign up for my video blog if it interests you, and if it doesn't, no problem. Thanks a lot.